Well, ladies and gentlemen, man, I don't even know how to start this video. The reason why I don't know how to start this video is because you guys know essentially how I feel about the whole Latinx thing. I mean, I made that pretty clear, I would imagine, over my multiple, like hundreds of tweets regarding every single idiot that has ever used this term and tried to make it a thing, and multiple videos, dozens of videos calling out retards who use the term Latinx, essentially trying to make us sound like a freaking cat. Now, here we have Bungie, okay? Now, I'm not going to pretend as if I'm shocked that Bungie is doing this. It's Bungie at the end of the day, right? Bungie is an extremely woke gaming company. Just look at this completely stupid emblem that they have for Latinx month that they're trying to call it, right? Well, apparently we have an article here from Bounding Into Comics, and it's basically going over a Twitter thread that Bungie got themselves wrapped up in. You know, they got so much backlash over the whole nonsense that they tried to come out with that essentially they ended up trying to limit replies like every single other coward that's ever tried to make Latinx a thing. So the article says Destiny 2 developer Bungie attempts to hide Twitter replies after receiving backlash over use of Latin AEOX in recent Latin at Bungie announcement. Now, man, I don't know. We're just going to get into it, guys. So, of course, before we do, just consider subscribing if you're new here. I'm shadow banned as hell because of stuff like this. And like the video to push us out into the YouTube algorithm. So, right off the bat, when I saw Bungie do this tweet, okay, Latin AEOX, whatever the hell that is, tries to make us sound like a summon from Final Fantasy. What the hell is an AOX? I have absolutely no idea. Now, obviously, they're trying to make it Latina, Latino, whatever the hell Latine and Latinx is, I have no clue. Latino and Latinas have been around for a long time. And if you want to reference multiple Latinos of both genders, then you're going to use Latinos in order to reference them. That has been the language since the dawn of fucking time. And you have these idiotic white liberals who are indoctrinated trying to make this a thing because they think it makes it inclusive when Latino people have said this many times. Stop doing this shit, that it's offensive, it's annoying, and nobody's trying to listen to you. You're trying to dictate our language. And then they try to say, here's the best part, and now we'll get into the article. Sorry for the rant. The best part about this is they try to make it into a thing where they say, oh, Latinos created this term, because you have some idiotic, indoctrinated, paid for, stupid professors who are Latino who tried to initially make this a thing. And white liberals ate it all up. This is not a thing. It will never be a thing. You guys try this once a year, and we roast you every single time. It's really ridiculous. Actually, sometimes you skip it, right? You skip it over every other year because, you can't do it every year. You get yelled at. But still, they do try to make this a thing, and they're going to keep trying. And now they're adding letters to it as if anybody gives a fuck. So let's get into this article, guys, from Bounding. It says, in a questionable attempt to honor their own Latin American employee base, Destiny 2 developer Bungie has opened Hispanic Heritage Month by not only unveiling Latin at Bungie, an internal group initiative meant to help bolster the relevant representation in both their company and games, but actively attempting to ignore any and all criticisms directed towards their announcement using the term Latin AEOX. The latest of the developers' Inclusion, Diversity, and Equity Association, basically the association is going to make them lose money. Latin at Bungie is the latest of Bungie's many employee resource groups, the collective of which are meant to help Bungie employees connect with people of similar cultural backgrounds and their supportive allies. These groups serve as a resource for advice, a forum to share thoughts and perspectives, and a way to amplify and celebrate cultures, not only in person, but also in our games, explains the developer on their official blog post announcing the group's existence. Latin at Bungie first began in 2022 as a way to celebrate our identity, acknowledge our different experiences, help educate the Bungie community about Latin and Hispanic culture, and support our local communities, recalled the developer. Well, if that was the case, okay, if this entire thing exists in order to bolster Hispanic communities and teach people about Latin and Hispanic culture, you would know. Okay, you would know if you were in true Hispanic culture, true Latino culture, you would know that Latinx is the most retarded term that you can reference a Latino person by. No Latino person worth their fucking salt is going to go by Latinx. It is the most idiotic term in existence. The only ones that use it are Latinos that are indoctrinated in California. They're the only ones that use this nonsense. Nobody else uses it. There's not a single fucking Latin household that I've ever been in that reference themselves by Latinx. Not a single one. And trust me, I have been in plenty. It says, ultimately, we aim to improve Latin culture representation in our games and bolster the representation of employees with a Latin or Hispanic background in our company. In turn, we hope that will result in better connections between our games and our gamers. I'm going to put it to you like this. Very simple, okay? I've said this many times. If you get offended, I really don't give a shit. Very simple. When it comes to these companies that are ran by white liberals like this, right, with Bungie, they have it in their mind that certain races of people eat up this diversity nonsense. Mostly black people, okay? A lot of black people eat up this diversity nonsense. Now, I know a lot of black people that don't, but there is a vast majority that do. Just look at the voting habits of that particular racial group. Now, with that being said, they think, these white liberals who own these companies, they think since they own black people in their mind that they can get other minorities to follow suit. Latino people are not going to do this nonsense. You are not going to win a virtue signaling competition with Latinos. It's not going to happen. We don't like to get virtue signaled to. Very little of us actually like that. And the ones that do get called out on it by the ones they don't. We are a race of people that like working hard and working for what we got. We're a race of people that enjoy putting in the work and seeing the fruits of our labor. You guys know this. They make jokes all the time. We're working the lawn. We're working this. We're working Home Depot. All this other nonsense is because we work. We don't want to get virtue signaled to. We just want to work. So whenever they try to come out and do this absolute nonsense and change our language, change our culture into something that they deem appropriate, or politically correct, yes, they get roasted for it, and it's never going to be accepted. And they try and try and try, and it's always the same outcome. It says, as a group, we embrace that our culture is rich and diverse. Bungie further detailed, we celebrate that ties that bind us are wide-reaching and well beyond any monolithic assumptions that society might have about people who are Latin and Hispanic. Being Latin AEOX is more important than just a location on a map, just as being Hispanic is more than just a language we might speak. It is important for us to dive deeper into not only what unifies us, but how we can grow as a culture to be more inclusive and equitable, such as championing racial justice, women's rights, and LGBTQIA+ causes. So this is it, ladies and gentlemen, right here. They feel because they own black people, they feel because they own progressive women, they feel because they own all the gay activists that suddenly Latinos need to follow suit and join the cause. It's not happening, motherfuckers, okay? It is not happening whatsoever. Latino people are not down for this. We will never be down for this. Stop trying to make this a thing. You look fucking stupid, okay? Just so you guys know, this video is going to be demonetized, so help your boy out with a like. It says, in bringing their announcement to a close, Bungie ultimately asserted, and of course, no community is complete without celebrating meaningful cultural touchstones, holidays, favorite recipes, and the rich variety of our talented music scene. We look forward to sharing our initiatives, blah, 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 blah. Then it says, but given the growing disdain among Latin Americans for any such performatively progressive terms, such as Latinx or Latine, which many see as an attempt to erase their heritage by erasing the gendered syntax rules of various Latin languages, rather than applause, Bungie's appeal to its Latin AEOX community was instead mainly met with criticism and mockery from the public at large, which is exactly what I said was going to happen. It always happens this way. However, rather than either acknowledging fans' issues with their attempt at inclusion or allowing the negative backlash to run its course, Bungie, in a move that rarely ever works for anyone, responded to this negative reception on Twitter by attempting to hide any such replies to their announcement tweet. And this is where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we're at. I'm not going to go over the responses because you guys can already see from the first one, it's basically this. Yeah, it's Latino or Latina, basically, right? Like this is the response that they always get. They're always going to get this. It's never going to change. They desperately want Latinos. They want this to change. They want to make this into a thing. They really do. And we are never going to let it happen. So my fellow Latinos who are watching this video, tell these motherfuckers to go fuck themselves anytime they do this shit, because at the end of the day, we will never change for these progressive fucking psychopaths that feel like they should dictate every race's language because they are the white saviors of the world. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.